All right, my friends, it is finally time to wrap up the interior project on our Laramie Longhorn single cab. We have been going on with this project for honestly far too long. I have a terrible time of just bouncing back and forth between project to project. You know, I always think I'm gonna go over here and do this real quick, give myself a little break from this project, then it just turns into bouncing all over the place. And you know what? Today is the day. We're gonna at least tackle this and stay on it if it kills me or not. But we've got parts from two interiors strewn across the entire one side of the shop. But if you've been following along, we are taking our Tradesman single cab and we're gonna turn it into a Laramie Longhorn. We've already done quite a bit of work as far as like harness stuff. That's done. We've already spent a bunch of time doing our single cab door panel swap. That's done. So we're really ready to just hammer down and reassemble. The dash can go back in. We're gonna start with doing our shifter base. That way nothing falls down inside of our G56 transmission. We don't want that. And then we'll go ahead with Dawson's help, put the dash back in. We did manage to get our bed lighting kit completely done. So we've got our factory switch right there, our lighting over there, and our MKS add-a-light harness, which puts bed lights up in the front corner of each bed. That way when you flip that switch, you not only have light going this way, there's light going that way. So that is kind of where we're at. And again, G56 center console, we've got all of our shifter pieces painted up, we've got all that made, and we're ready for reassembly. So let's get to it. A little bit of finagling later. Laramie Longhorn dash with the brown stitching is set in there, and we just have to figure out where all of these 85,000 little 8mm bolts go. So they are everywhere. Got the airbag needs to go back in, all that good stuff, you know, radio stuff, but two people part of the job is done, and we can go ahead and start kind of like filling in all the trim pieces, getting radio back in, getting the cluster back in. We're cruising along. Tips and tricks on the dash as far as putting it back in. This harness up there, that likes to get lost down in here, and you can't really get to it when the dash is in, so just make sure that that harness is kind of like already in place, poking through. These, for the side speakers, you can kind of like wiggle up from the bottom if they get lost down in there, but that middle one is just kind of a pain. And just make sure all of this is not behind any of the plastic trim pieces. Other than that, kind of folds in over the edges right here and pushes right in. It's got little kind of like locking areas here, but yeah, we're one small step for Greg, one giant leap for you know, tradesmen's. Time later, we're cruising along, got the steering wheel in, got the cluster in, got the radio all plugged in, all that stuff's good to go. Glove box, upper glove box. We are getting dangerously close to going ahead and final installing our shift linkage for our business center console. We're going to swap over our basically center console, I guess you would say here. We're going to merge three different ones to make one that fits this truck, but here's kind of where we're at. But we are going to take a brief intermission break because after a little bit of time, Corey Wheat and Hannah Wheat, we gave them our OG Silver First Gen for them to work their magic on. They are the patina masters. I love everything that they've ever done with the teal and the patina and all that stuff. And if you guys have been following along, the OG Silver First Gen has been in their hands, and they are actually about 10 or 15 minutes out from delivering that truck back home to us. Now, we stuck true to our word, and I have not seen anything on this truck at all. I told him this is exactly kind of like what I like on the other stuff that you've done. Do that on this, but change up some colors. So I personally, not saying every time I say that, I ended up finding there's gonna be the one that pops up next week, but I have not ever seen something done quite like this, nor has he ever done anything like this. So we're gonna see. I am nervous and I am excited, but he is showing up here shortly to unload that beast, and then we'll kind of continue on with the interior swap. We got some OEM black carpet that's already pre-molded, very, very nice for a single cab, so we don't have to worry about trimming a ton. And here are the center consoles. This is the one that came out of the donor truck, the one that came in the truck, and then we have a new centerpiece from infotainment to kind of change some of our climate. But what we're gonna do is this piece will separate. We'll kind of go ahead, take that out. We're gonna put our brake controller back in this section right here, this section right here, because we don't have anything to do with this. We'll go ahead and put our four-wheel drive stuff back in, and then this is actually pretty hard to convert because you got to do a lot of body control stuff. So we're probably going to end up switching this little din pocket in over here too. So all that's modular. You can kind of like mix and choose and do whatever. So we'll go ahead and just swap all three of those into this colored wood grain bezel. We'll pop that in, and then I'm pretty sure that we are gonna be ready for the carpet, which means the seats, which means we're getting close, which means I'm getting excited. Our man just pulled up. Just pulled up. Oh man.
I'm nervous.
I don't wanna look. I feel like somebody needs to blindfold me. You don't want me to look?
Brother, that looks awesome. We're nervous because all you said last was just making sure it don't look like a cow. But if you don't like it, it's Hannah's fault.
Yeah, that's not what I heard.
Well, it is black. It is, the dent out of the bedside is gone.
All right.
The taillights fit. I will say it needs washed because it got a little
That's all right.
wet on the way last night. So
I can tell you're. I can tell you're nervous.
Well, for me, I'm like, all I gotta do is please myself, you know. But
I know I'm gonna love it. That's why I entrusted you guys.
I don't know. You ain't seen it yet, so.
All right, let's go check it out.
So the hood is on the bed of the truck.
Dude, it looks sick.
Well, I hope.
Dude, it looks sick.
I think the hood's my favorite, and you're not even gonna put it on there.
Oh, I'm gonna put it on there.
Well, you said you weren't. You thought you weren't, so.
Yeah, I love it. It looks sick.
Well.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, check out the hood. Now it's got water spots on it and stuff, but.
Yeah, that is cool. No, I think I'm gonna try to put the hood on it. Okay. The only reason it didn't have a hood last time is just because it caught on fire so many different times and it had so many different like hood stack holes. I was just like, all right, but yeah, with the changes this year, we're gonna put it on. Yeah, the hood definitely is sick.
Yeah, so we gotta get that water spot off, but it'll all wash off, of course. But
yeah, dude, it looks awesome.
I love it.
I mean, it's not teal and patina.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say this. You know, it's not teal and patina. I get it, but no, it looks sick.
Door jams and everything are done on it. So, like I said, we need to kind of clean it up a little bit, but
it looks like, you know, it looks. That's what I mean. It looks perfect.
Well, I hope you like it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. This is exactly what I was picturing. No, it's perfect.
On the way here, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh, the back looks sick. Oh, the back looks so good. Oh, I love it.
I know it's supposed to look real, but it actually looks real.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Well, we're trying to make it not look cowy and try to make it look like something, but some of this stuff will come off of it. Like, it just needs washed.
Yeah.
But black was rough. She was stressing out on that one.
It looks like it came like that. Like that was exactly how it would be if it just like gripped off of it. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
We did have a kid at the gas station. He's like, "Oh, you just buy that as a project? You gonna put a motor in it?" I'm like, "Oh, well, we're not." But he thought we just picked it up or something. But
yeah, he said, "Are you guys gonna like restore that?" We're like, "No."
This is restored.
This is restored.
Yeah.
This is perfect. This is exactly how it was.
So and then firewall shaved.
Sweet.
The only thing I didn't, that one there, because I was like, man, I hate to block that off. Thought maybe we could just make a plate and cover it, because I'm like, what if he does want to run windshield wipers one day?
Okay, yeah, or like maybe I need to get something in there like wiring or something like that too.
And the other thing is this wasn't too bad because I could cover up I took the carpet out of this side and folded it up and put welding blankets on it.
There's a bunch of shit on that side.
Yeah, I was afraid I'd catch it on fire and then you'd be really mad at me. So,
really out of
I mean, it's
Dude, it's like textured and everything. That is so cool.
yeah, it's
like real, like everything looks like really.
well, it's kind of hard to rust plastic, homie.
Yeah, I was gonna. Like, how do you even do that? That's what I mean. Like, that's what I was told the video. I was like, the number one question I'm not gonna ask him, like, how'd you do all this? Like, no. If you could, you know, like years of trial and error and experience.
I'll tell you,
It's still a trial and
It's
error,
still-
I
yeah.
will say. You know, it's still new to us, but it's my favorite way to do it now. It's been
project.
stressful.
Oh, yeah.
I have been stressed out to the max.
Well, I appreciate it. I love it.
it was definitely different doing that.
Yeah.
Being black, it just.
I mean, you guys see more of this stuff than I do. Like, have you ever seen someone do something similar with black?
no.
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not on black. And the other thing is, you're gonna like either tick off the first gen people because they either want really clean or they're trying to make their first gens clean. And then we started with the clean first gen and made it look like
Yeah, I'm sure.
a turd.
I'm sure this will, especially because I had the gray for so long,
Yeah.
and people were like, "That's like a staple," and I'm just like, I mean, I get it, but that's not what I want.
Yeah, but
you
black
know?
is kind of like your color now.
Yeah.
Like teal is ours. People expect it. Black
Yeah.
is kind of yours.
Guys, well, there she is. If you've been wondering where the first gen has been, we finally have the first gen back, and it looks absolutely killer. I'm super pumped. This is exactly what I was going for. You guys will just have to see this thing in person. You'll have to feel it in person. It is looking super good. It looks totally different when the sun hits it, and of course now that the sun's going down, it's in the shade. It looks a little bit different. Again, once we get the thing like completely put back together, you guys will see the transformation. But absolutely huge thank you to Corey and Hannah for taking that on, for knocking it out. Appreciate them so much. They absolutely killed it. So the first gen is officially finally home, and we can now put our new Freedom Racing engines in this thing. We'll go inside the new shop because we have had the engine for a little bit. I'm not even sure if I've shown you guys the engine for this thing. It has been sitting here ready to go, and we are going to pop that bad boy in there and get this thing ready for burnouts. But huge thank you. Could not be more pumped. This is, like I said, I'm just gonna repeat myself. This is exactly what I was going for, the vision that I had with this truck. I know a lot of you guys are going to miss the gray patina. We had to keep, obviously we had to keep the patina, right? We weren't gonna go ahead and paint it gloss black. So it is still patina, just in a different way, in a way that I absolutely love. I think it looks so good. Sitting over here waiting patiently in the corner is the new Freedom Racing engine for the Rust Gen First Gen. Fleece dual pump cover, big valve race head on this bad boy. This thing is pretty serious. And when I say serious, it's definitely designed around the 1,500 or so horsepower. So we are planning on making some power with this beast. Very excited to see it in the frame rails of that truck. The whole inside of the engine bay is painted. The door jambs are painted on that thing. It is just a super cool transformation on that truck. So I am very pumped for that project. But for now, let's cover that engine back up, but let's get back to swapping the dash panel, because I really want to get this interior wrapped up tonight. if possible. So we're making good headway. We are going to not squirrel too much, and we're gonna stay here, and we're gonna wrap this beast up. Quick swaps on the radio bezel. Again, this is from infotainment. You can kind of see it's got still the single zone. The dual zone for a single cab really didn't interest me. I know some guys have swapped that, but again, not really that interested. So this is their bezel, I believe, to work with the climate zone that we've changed. Got the upfitter switches that have all of the vented and heated seats. Swapped our trailer brake controller over. We've got our four-wheel drive deal. We've got our little cubby hole, and we've now kind of morphed 1.5 into our main one with the bezel color that matches the rest of the interior. So we can pop this in now, and we are well on our way to getting this thing buttoned up. Little update for you guys. We are just about ready to put the seats in, but we've got the carpet put in. We've got the center console put in. I'm going to show you guys a piece. This center console actually came with kind of like a wooden accordion, kind of like rollover cover that I think is going to work out really, really well when we have the time to perfect the shift boot ordeal here with this console. It's going to look good eventually, but for the time being, for our UCC crunch, this is, I think, what we're going to end up looking like, and just kind of getting some drive time with that shifter setup and making sure that the truck kind of runs through the gears well. This shifter setup's going to work out good before I go ahead and like make a perfect boot and ring setup for that. But I'll show you guys what I'm thinking about. But the center console's in. This carpet fits amazing. If you have the chance and you need new carpet, I've gotten a lot of aftermarket carpet from a couple different places. OEM carpet is so nice. It's already pre-molded. It's got really, really, really thick foam underneath of it. And it is just, it is so worth the money, in my opinion, for the cheap carpet that you have out there. But if you can do it, do it. And again, we're just about ready to put the seats in. It's looking absolutely phenomenal. Everything's fitting together perfect. Very, very OEM. And what I have planned for here is going to kind of complement that. But yeah, I think we're ready to kind of like bolt the seats in. And then I think the only thing that's left is just to tidy up all the wiring. I pulled a Greg and got a little carried away. Some of the wiring that was ran through the firewall just wasn't very nice up here. So we have to kind of like redo that. A lot of this going on that we need to kind of fix. So this is what kind of sits up inside of that. And again, it came from a 1500 truck. I don't think I've ever seen it on a 3500 application, but that kind of like sits up inside of that area, and you can basically just kind of like uncover what would normally be there. I already cut a hole to see if I could just try and fit this in now, but this is what holds your phone, what would normally be in like a 3500, but this little wooden accordion thing, but it does fit with the rest of the vibe. So I think what I'm going to try to do is basically cut out the bottom of this and keep this glued flat and kind of like put a stop here or something like that. Then kind of cut out as little as this is going to move, as long as it shifts good and everything feels good, and we measure how much it's going to have to move. And then we'll kind of like make a small ring, however much we need, just to run a really, really small boot. And I feel like that's going to keep it very, very OEM. So we'll get to that eventually. Again, the time constraint on everything else that we need to get done, probably not going to happen, but that way you at least know I'm not going to leave a massive you know, hole right there. We'll fix that up, make that look nice. Check it out, guys. We are officially complete. Everything is done. It is tied together. It looks so phenomenal. We got matching floor mats in there, down to the Laramie door locks here that are chrome instead of black. Door handles, panels look so good. It honestly looks super sick. And actually, I really like this cluster. I never really knew that everything was like backlit red like that, which I think is super, super cool. But console, seats, the only thing we're missing is the tray back here is MIA for some odd reason. But other than that, this thing came out so good. We still do have some programming to do as far as turning the functions on through like Alpha OBD, but we'll get to that, and we'll get to making that centerpiece here trim ring really, really nice. But it looks insane. I'm really, really pumped with the way that it turned out. This interior is definitely very unique. At the sunroof, it turned out so good. So that is pretty much going to wrap up the interior. If we run into some of the wiring stuff, I'm sorry, the programming stuff, maybe I'll put that in with another video. But interior swap, for the most part, all the big pieces, fit and finish, all that stuff is completely done. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Exactly what I had pictured is what is here. So super happy with that. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up before you leave. We will see you guys in the next video. See ya.